You know, this morning I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Dana Allmond, United States Army, retired. Colonel Allmond's career path as both a soldier and a public servant is quite interesting indeed, and I want to highlight a little bit about Dana's journey. Following in the footsteps of her grandfather, Calvin P. Allmond, and her father, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Elgin L. Allmond, both now deceased, Dana committed her life to public service. In March of 1989, at 17 years of age, Dana enlisted in the United States Army Reserve as an administrative specialist at the Oakland Military Entrance Processing Station, Oakland, California. 1 year later, she graduated from the United States Military Academy Preparatory School at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. The prep school exists to provide academic, military, and physical training to qualify and motivate candidates for admission to and graduation from the United States Military Academy, West Point. And in May 1994, she earned a Bachelor of Science degree in individual psychology from the United States Military Academy at West Point and was commissioned a second lieutenant, human resources officer. With more than 23 years of active duty service, Colonel Allmond had a myriad of command and staff assignments at tactical and strategic levels. The colonel had 4 commands, which include serving as a company commander leading infantry soldiers at Fort Benning, Georgia, a West Point tactical officer for a company of more than 120 cadets, serving as a company commander, counselor, and leader developer, and simultaneously serving as a battalion commander of 6 military entrance processing stations: St. Louis, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Shreveport, New Orleans, and the St. Louis MEPS commander at her battalion headquarters. During a 12-month period of 2009 to 2010, the colonel had a combat deployment as the J-1 Joint Human Resources Director of the Joint Special Operations Task Force Philippines in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, Philippines, as well as in support of the global war on terror. For Special Operations Command, Pacific, and U.S. Pacific Command. Colonel Allmond's culminating Army assignment was at West Point as the United States Military Academy G1 Human Resources Director, reporting to the Academy Superintendent, a 3-star command. Her graduate degrees include a Master of Science in Counseling and Leader Development from Long Island University in New York in 2002, and a Master of Business Administration from Arizona State University in 2019. Following retirement from the armed forces, the colonel settled down in Marana, Arizona, continued her public service with veteran healthcare groups in the southern part of the state. She and her husband, John, who is a Tucson native and Tucson VA emergency medicine physician assistant, have 4 children, which include 3 triplets. She's a lifetime member of both the VFW post in Oro Valley and the Association of the United States Army Tucson. She is a member of the American Legion Post 132, Oro Valley, and founding member of Disabled American Veterans Chapter 39, Oro Valley. Additionally, Colonel Allmond is a member of the Military Officers Association of America and numerous other local, state, and federal veterans organizations. Colonel Allmond is a lifelong dedicated public servant leader who leads from the front to protect life, limb, health, and the welfare of 600,000 Arizona veterans, military service members, and their families, caregivers, and survivors. She is the former governor's cabinet member and director of the Arizona Department of Veteran Services and currently serves as the chief of the Office of Veteran and Military Family Affairs in support of the Office of Community Engagement in the Arizona Department of Economic Security. Governor Katie Hobbs encouraged Colonel Allmond to create this much-needed office to assist her administration. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome retired Lieutenant Colonel Dana Allmond.
Thank you so much. Right on. All right, we got to say, hooah! Now, I was watching the videos. I think it was the 300th gathering. I was like, doggone it. 300 Fridays? Right on. The video I was watching was 300. I was like, man, now I'm here for 308. Man, I was fired up. So I just want to thank Nancy. Right on. Fassbender, man, she was like, hey, I think there's something you should come to. Because I had it, and Marcus will tell you, I had it on my calendar for this meeting. I have it like recurring and whatnot. And then thank you, Dick Nations. Man, I could listen to you all day long. I was sitting there, man, you're awesome. Now, I don't know if y'all remember when you went through history class in school, you're like, man, is this guy gonna shut up? Who shot JR and whatever, I don't know. But I could listen to Dick all Sergeant Major. I could listen to you all doggone day. Thank you. That was like the most awesomest introduction of all time to explain what it means, all these different things. Because it's hard. Man, I love this. I'm going to keep saying that over and over. And I don't believe you're 81. I'm going to have to card you, young man. But yes, so what I really loved that was coming off of the screen was the love. And it's even better in person. So if anybody's watching this doggone video, I need you to get your butt down here. Because I was fired up. I was so fired up that I started my journey on Monday. I went Phoenix to Tucson to Show Low. That was Monday. The next morning, I went Show Low to Chinle. Then the next morning, I went Chinle to Page to Phoenix. Thank goodness I didn't have as far to go this morning that I could get to you. And then I will tell you this. Hold on.
Seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Right on!
Yeah.
Willie Nelson and I we're road dogs at this point. So when I was appointed to be the director of the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, I was like, right on. I get to go all over the state and see the folks that we take care of. And we know there's 7.4 million Arizonans. And we know that there's about 600,000 veterans, military members, and their families and caregivers and survivors out here. And to me, I saw it as command again. So the last time I had command, I was a lieutenant colonel with all the MEPs, those 6 MEPs that Dick named off. I was like, man, I get to do this again. I get to go see you and make sure you're all right. Man, I tell you. So within less than 2 years of being in the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, I've clocked in probably at least 70,000 miles. Again, that's how important you are to me. You know, I know in the military they say, well, what the boss pays attention to, where they show up at, that's what I want everybody to understand. I will come to you. I will take every plane, train, automobile, doggone it, pack mule, helicopter, whatever in the world way, we got to get there to get to you. If you're a public servant leader, raise your hand. Okay, man. I'm going to start throwing stuff. Look, everybody here is a public servant leader. I say it's bad enough that we have veterans, military members that think they did not do enough while they were in uniform. And we know that is a doggone, bold-faced lie. We did. Then I got to hunt you down because of the culture, the way we were brought up, and you have your own personal examples of what I am talking about, why you think you didn't do enough. I've heard so many different things. Well, I'm just, National Guard. I was never active duty. I didn't deploy. I didn't do this. It doesn't even matter what part of the military you were at. There's some reason why we get told we're not good enough. Then when you're a veteran, and this is a shame, we have folks, because of those not thinking they did enough, they don't even know they are a veteran. So you have to be very specific. Did you raise your hand? Did you take an oath? Were you in uniform? Before they realize, oh, wow, I didn't know that. And then we're like, well, my number one question is, have you filed your disability claim? And we know normally it's no, or I got messed around so many times I'm giving up. And I don't want you to ever give up. Now, I was a powerlifter at West Point. If you're a civilian out here and you tell me you are just a civilian, I need you to duck. Because I'm going to throw this doggone podium, flip all these chairs and tables. Because you're that important. We could not serve in uniform without civilians. It's not possible. It's just not, it's not. And I hate it when, folks come up to me in different states of emotions, crying to yelling. How do I help these families? They did more than me. I said, doggone it, we need you. We need you, doggone it. If I could line up all of the veterans and military members, caregivers, and whatnot. Now, you see all the swag that's running around all these tables on your person. We love to show everybody that we love our country. But I need you to understand that we're not going to leave anyone behind, and one family is not better than another family. We need each other. One of the things that I talk about is a warm handover, a warm handoff, because I'm worried about those who are transitioning. That's why they don't even know what to do. We were trained, we know exactly how to be in the military. It's like breathing. All that extensive training and hours upon hours and years upon years. So again, it's like breathing. We leave, we feel like we don't have a purpose. I can only talk for myself and know of what my colleagues, my veteran families have said. We don't know what to do. Heck, a lot of us joined when we were 17, 18, and 19. So I want to make sure that every transition point in your life, you're going to get the help that you need. And I used to say, you know what? They gave me these cold pamphlets and a Soldier for Life mug. You know what? I wish I could find that doggone mug, but I can't. And then for some reason, like I talked about the cold pamphlets, the cold pamphlet is not going to get you the services that you're eligible for, that you deserve, that you fought for. We want to make it very easy, and we will go over later some things that are on my digital business card because I like it within one click. So a little bit about my family. So yes, the battalion command. I actually went into battalion command pregnant with triplets. I wanted to command again. I wanted one more kid. So why not get it all at once? Beggars can't be choosers. So so my husband and I worked at the Tucson VA hospital. Our daughter, who's going to graduate from college next month at Ithaca College in upstate New York, she's going to get her BFA. She's a musical theater major, and we are so proud of her. And doggone it, of course, we're biased, but damn it, she better be on Broadway. I'm coming to find somebody. to make sure that doggone, they better listen to us, their parents. I'm coming to find y'all. So, man, you messed up my thunder about, and I love when I go, and my daughter, and triplets, and everybody starts, I've gotten so many different reactions. I've got the, Sanford and Son, I'm coming for you, Elizabeth. I've had the doggone cricket, or the, wait a minute, I've heard of twins. Did she say triplets? Oh my God. So they were born on 11/11/11.
Wow.
Hold on, see, you had me at triplets. Okay, right on. So, a few years ago, I would go, look, they're 10. And on Veterans Day, they're going to turn 11. They're like, woohoo, yeah, you had me at triplets, right on, huh? Now, last year, I was like, look, they're 12. On Veterans Day, I need y'all to check on us, pray for us. Because we have 3 teenagers in our house. My goodness, they were already acting that way because, their sister's like 8 years older than them. I don't know about you, but you go down the hallway to where their rooms are, and I'm like, why is it so dark down here? Y'all okay? I would have them here today, my triplets. So all of my kids are Gen Z. Now my triplets will tell me, no, we're Alpha or something. I don't know, X, Y, Z, I don't know. Anyway, so I like to take them with me. They're getting a lot older, more mature and understanding because they may think mom's just riding around the countryside doing nothing, but I think they're kind of understanding how important it is. They get to meet all of you. So if I could have them here today, if they didn't have school today, I would have brought them here so they could hear your stories. And I do think about my father, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Elgin L. Allmond. He passed away last month. It'll be 3 years since he passed away. And he loved the Army. I was born at Fort Benning. All I know is the Army. If I could find that doggone picture of me in the hospital as a newborn, I'll just say it looked like I was saluting. Looks like I was ready to go. I could not get my father. I think one time I almost fell off my chair. He always talked about the Army. He couldn't talk about anything else. One time he talked about something else. I'm like, dude, are you all right? It's going to be okay. We'll get some help for you. I don't know why you're not talking about, but he had at least about 30 years of service with active duty reserve, Army Reserve, and Department of the Army service. 10 days before my father passed away, another veteran Allmond out here, Army Sergeant Earl L. Allmond Jr. He died 10 days before my father. And so my father was born in Suffolk, Virginia, and that's where the State Veteran Memorial Cemetery is at, and in the same section as our cousin. And then in another section, we have more Allmonds that have served in uniform. But like I said, we need everyone, 7.4 million Arizonans. So that's veterans, military, civilians. We all need you. So what I did was I wanted to make it easy for you to help folks. Because we definitely don't leave anybody behind. So on the card and at the end, there's a QR code that you can get that onto your phone. And afterwards, if you're okay, I'd like to go over those things with you. Because don't make me chase you down in the doggone parking lot to make sure you have this information before you leave. So as you can see here, these are some of the things that's on there. I put it in the level of order of acuity. So that's why you see 911 and these emergency numbers. I want to make sure that it's very easy for you to help yourself, your family, and others. And this is some more information. Now, that bottom, the customer comment tracker, and I'll show you that, it's one form. It's all it has at the top is, here is your contact information. At the bottom, normally it's like you need to ask for an appointment with one of the veteran benefits counselors. Like I said, most likely, if you ask the question, have you filed your disability claim, you haven't. So what I like about this form is, you don't have to know anything about any details of what it is to provide services. You just have to fill this thing out, and ADVS will contact you. I know they will do that because what's pretty cool is that when you submit that form, it goes right into the inbox of the director and the deputy director. So when I was a director, I was able to see all of those things. I could see the trend lines. I could find out that the veteran benefits counselor appointment number wasn't good. And then we were able to make process improvements because now you're able to, you can make your own appointment. You can get on this platform called Calendly and make your own appointments. And what's great is I can explain to veterans that yes, that ADVS does have in-person appointments to file your claims. So 2 years I was in ADVS. Now I've been 3 months in DES, the Arizona Department of Economic Security. And then when I stepped over there and the governor allowed me to create the Office of Veteran and Military Family Affairs, because there's definitely a need. That's why I spent all those tens of thousands of miles on the road, because we're not connected with each other. We've got to be connected with each other. And so what I found out with being in DES, that there's so many other programs in DES that I have no clue about that y'all need to know about. And there's this portal called the A to Z Arizona portal, which can help you start applying for different services in accordance with the social determinants of health, so finances and food and those sorts of things. Then there's this, you see on the last line here, the area agency and aging locations. So there's actually hotlines by county that you're able to call. And if anybody's heard of Be Connected, it's similar to Be Connected. So you call that number and you tell them what you need help with. So I was over there in Page this week with the surviving spouse, and we just sat on the phone. I sat down with her so I could hear how it works. And she had issues she needed help with transportation. So they were able to give her some resources for that. So you can see these items here. So what I'm going to do is, when we're at the end of this, I would like to talk with you personally, because I love being up here and telling you how fired up I am, but I like one-on-one communication definitely better. So there's a lot, so as you can see, there's a lot here.
Can you send me your phone number?
Can you imagine that that's on one app, on one card, all of that, and is within one click? Did you know that those veteran license plates and the Freedom license plate, did you know that you were actually helping veterans when you buy those? Right on. I didn't know. I had no clue that I was helping a veteran when I bought my disabled plate back in 2017. And that's one of the big things that I want to ensure that you understand. You shouldn't have to be the head of any of these state agencies to know what to do. So here's the QR code. If you'd like to take your phone and pull that up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll give you a little bit if you want to pull it up, and you'll be able to see that. So I wanted to make sure that you understand it's very easy, and we'll go over it afterwards. But what I want to close with is that I want to make sure that all of you can thrive and serve for a lifetime, that you're treated with dignity and respect. And I know you know, because Dick put it out, that this month is the month of the military child. So these families are very important. So getting all of your benefits that you're eligible for through DES, through the VA and whatnot, they're not just for you, they are for your family. It was pretty cool to be able to talk to young children at the Veterans program last year, Veterans Day program. And it was so cool because right here on the floor were kindergartners and first graders. And when I said, who's a public servant leader, you need to raise your hand, doggone it, they were fired up going, yes, yes, I'm a public servant leader. That young, they need to know. And also, you're always recruiting, because we need to make sure the young folks know that we're here for them. But anybody who doesn't treat you with dignity and respect, I got some special curse words for you. I definitely do, because it's a shame. Every era of war, and especially the Vietnam veterans, I am so angry. I am so angry. And welcome home, I am so angry of how you were treated like, I'll just say, yeah, the scum of the earth is the way people treated you, and that's a bull crap. And then also, I need to ensure that every era is remembered, because I think that sometimes the Korean War and even the Gulf War veterans, and whatnot, they all are important, and they all need to be treated with dignity and respect. So if you know me, I love West Point. Duty, honor, country. Do you know what you do when you say these three words? Duty, honor, country. You stand up straighter. You sit up straighter. You poke your chest out, doggone it. Because you took an oath. It did not expire. I need you to understand that. It did not expire. And I know sometimes it's very hard to talk about that tough thing in the room called suicide prevention. You see me up here going, whoo, and banging and stuff like that. Well, that's some good Army training, right on, whoo. But I tell you right now, I need y'all to be fired up and understand that we are here for you if you're struggling. It should not have taken that I lost a friend of mine in June of 2023. He took his life with a firearm at the VFW State Convention. And at that point, he actually had inspired me to join the VFW. I had never joined any veteran service organization. So you saw that list of affiliations. Because of him, none of that probably would have happened to me to go ahead and join and be around folks that relate to me. But he was at the convention. I remember I was there on a Thursday to talk with him, to talk to the VFW state members. And I remember the 2 times I talked with him. And I literally had to rush off to the suicide mortality review meeting. And so we fast forward, I'm in Tucson. This is Saturday night, I'm in Tucson. I was asked specifically to talk about preventing suicide with a firearm, veteran suicide with a firearm. Did not know 24 hours ahead of time, my friend, the evening before, that he had done that. I didn't find out till Monday. And so my friend, he told me within hours, he became the state VFW commander. I didn't think he was telling me, I didn't think that was real until I called his wife. And so it jolted me out of not wanting to reveal my own struggles. Because who wants to say, after you saw all those things that Dick talked about me, a West Point graduate, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, all the different awesome assignments, and to tell somebody that, hey, I was struggling, I went inpatient, mental health ward, I came out, and the psychiatrist said, your career is over. I joined when I was 17, the Army Reserve, when I was 17. I was prepared to serve in uniform for a lifetime. So to get told that it's all over after 2 decades of service, it was devastating. So you know what? I said, look, I am going to stop hiding, because it's hard enough to tell people I'm 100% service-connected disabled, because I go, whoa, I do all of those things. But you need to know what I've been hiding. And I find it really hard to prevent something if us who are struggling never say anything. If we never say anything, how in the world are you going to prevent it? Why did Allmond want to do these things? I'll tell you my why. My why was when I came out of Battalion Command and I took my family to Fort Knox, Kentucky, Human Resources Command, where all the assignments are done in the Army, and 90 days into that assignment, I get diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So you'd think if you tell your chain of command who is there to protect your life, limb, health, and welfare, that they would go, doggone it, Allmond, get out of here. Why do you keep coming to work? You know, we got a duty concept. We're not going to stop. So I'm having chemo treatments. Normally it was on a Wednesday. I'd come back on Monday. I always came back to work the following Monday. And I did this 8 times every 2 weeks. So I had 2 full bird colonels and a 2-star in my chain of command. My subordinates were doggone there for me. Shoot, people in the hallway would stop me to make sure I was all right. But unfortunately, my chain of command did not, and I still to this day don't understand that. But, you know, if we're still, like again, you're who and we know how to talk like we're leading, because you better not look weak. We know that you will never look weak. You're on the ground bleeding out. We will never accept that we're weak. Never. So my thing is, if you are struggling, I need you to get help. If you notice someone who they've told you a lot of different things about their life, I need you to make sure you're checking on each other. So I appreciate that you listen to me ramble on. But doggone it, I need you to tell me about other events, other things that you have, so I can come and speak with those members. And again, if you're watching, I need you to get your you-know-what down here on Fridays, because it's better in person. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate you. I love you. Ha! Right on.
Oh, my goodness. You know, Dana, you have been truly a lifelong servant to our country and now to our veteran community. And for that, we are extraordinarily grateful. And we would like to take this opportunity to present you with a certificate welcoming you to the Order of the R.E.D. We hereby recognize and commend Lieutenant Colonel Dana Allmond, U.S. Army retired, for dedicated support of the East Valley Red Friday Patriots, national veteran initiatives, and U.S. deployed service members. Thank you.
Thank you. Right on, sir. Cool. Right on. Yeah.
And one other thing. We have a Red Friday lapel pin, which is a quite coveted item here amongst this Red Friday group.
I heard about that.
Yeah, did you? Well, we are going to take this opportunity to pin you today with a Red Friday lapel pin, and we sincerely hope that you will wear this with pride.
Doggone right.
If you don't, you're going to have a sergeant major on your ass.
Oh, doggone it. I'm having flashbacks when I was at LT.
Thank you.
Huh?
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Right
Thank you. I do have a couple of announcements I would like to make. First is Jesse has had to leave because he is taking his wife to an appointment. But we have one of our members who just advised me that he has one of the four-wheel mobility scooters. It's red in color, by the way. And he is a Palmas del Sol East resident. And that would be free to any of you who have a need for a four-wheel battery-powered mobility scooter. Those things typically don't come cheap. But if you have a need for that, get with me after the meeting. I'll relay that to Jesse and put you guys in contact, okay? Also, on Saturday, May the 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Congressman Andy Biggs of the 5th Congressional District is sponsoring a veteran service fair titled Drop Zone. And this will be a one-stop resource fair for veterans, and it will allow you to explore some potential services and senior benefits that may be available to you. There's going to be a host of service organizations present, to include VA representatives, VA health service reps, senior service organizations, community support groups, congressional casework services, health screenings, and free haircuts. So we have a Red Friday booth that it will be set up there to, and hope that perchance if that day is open for you, you'll stop by and visit with some of these representatives from the host of organizations represented. Can't ever tell, you may have something awaiting there for you that you were not familiar with. The event will take place at the American Legion Leadership Academy at the Applied Technologies campus, and that's located on Pecos Road in Mesa. In fact, the building is located just on the southwest corner of Mesa Gateway Airport. Take the South Loop 202 to Power Road South to Pecos Road East, and you're there. Again, May 3rd, 10 to 2. That is on a Saturday next week. One final announcement, and that is, please, as you're departing, leave your name badges at the greeting table, and we will have those available for you next week upon your return. To our guests, thank you for joining us today. We're sincerely glad that you shared this time with us, and we hope that you will join us again at your earliest convenience. Please know that you will always be welcome at our Red Friday assemblies. And as a final reminder, let's not overlook the importance of our mission to keep our deployed warriors in our thoughts and prayers, and to continue to demonstrate our support for these fine men and women. Please enjoy your weekend. Thank you.